What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the third part of episode. This is what, 57? 56 of Study Hall here on UFSU University. My name's Tam, and I'm joined by this fantastic crew.
Since we changed to the podcast.
Yep. This is Travis, TNT Tangeman.
Yes.
That is Mason. I don't know what's your moniker?
I don't think I have one. I'm pretty sure I had one at one point in time.
Eggs, the littlest Johnson, the man who needs no title, Johnson. And
The man who needs... I like that.
Jake, the man with many titles. Jake, the big Johnson. And I'm Cameron, Mr. Damnation Cardwell. That's the first time I've ever said those words on the podcast. What Study Hall is for the unenrolled is we take a bunch of your guys' UFS topics as well as some of our own, and we sit down and discuss them for your amusement, entertainment, and knowledge. If you like the content, please go out to patreon.com/TCG University. Throw us a couple bucks to get some timed exclusive content, as well as Patreon exclusive content. If you don't have any bucks to toss, that's totally chill. Go out to YouTube and do all the cool YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell. So topic 3 of the week is actually going to be assets and actions. In Soul Calibur, the set that was just recently spoiled, or previewed, excuse me, every character has an asset and action. We talked about that in yesterday's episode. But what I want to talk about is, are these good enough to compete? Our assets have not been on the scene for at least 2 whole formats. Are these good enough?
There's been one asset on the
Swordfish 2 and Quan Chi's Fortress. I know you're going to bring that up. And then... That's it. But we were given 12 assets and 12 actions in this set, and are they good?
Yes.
All right, that'll do it for us. Have a good night, everybody. Expand the thought.
So all the assets in the set do what their characters want them to do, and the characters are all good, so the things that they want to do are good, which means, in turn, their assets are good.
But are their assets worth playing is the question we need to ask. Because... why do I need to play my asset? If we're both playing a game where we both need an asset and play to win the game, can I just kill you without an asset? I can do it before you get your asset?
Okay, so let's
Very good point.
Let's look at 2 of the assets.
This used to happen.
Okay.
The asset game was big back in King of Fighters.
Yeah, you wish it was big.
It was big.
So
it's big.
I'm just trying to play this up.
Back in King of Fighters, the team cards for each of the teams were big assets.
We're nuts.
And they were super good. And almost every King of Fighters character played their team asset in their deck.
I agree, because I didn't own them and it sucked.
That was a format of the past. We are now in Bebop. Welcome to Bebop, Mason Johnson. We don't need assets to kill people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad you're agreeing with me.
You're supposed to be helping
you.
Travis.
Okay,
So what I'm saying is, back then the game was way slower, and you could totally afford to wait to get your asset because your opponent wasn't going to play more than 2 or 3 attacks on you in a turn.
Totally.
And you were going to block them all.
Good job.
And you were going to block them all. In this format, you can get hit with 7 attacks on turn 2 and just lose.
Or more if you're talky.
Or more if you're talking.
I was using an average. We'll say that's an average, a number of attacks thrown on turn 2.
I like it.
Is 7. And if that's the case, you don't have time to hope that you draw an asset on turn 1 and build your whole deck around that.
I agree. I think assets are all win more cards, but that'll come later.
Damn. So here's my thing about assets. I think assets should actually be the strongest cards in the game. And the reason that I feel that way is that they can't kill you and they can't be used to pass checks, which I think is a very important part of this. With that card effect, they can't be used to pass checks. So I think that their abilities should be nuts. For the exact same reason, I think actions should actually be the weakest part of the game. The good part about an action is that you can't play chess with an action. I get to play chess in UFS because I get to see all of my opponent's pieces, except for actions and except for blocks. And actions should have the weakest amount of impact on the game because they are such a surprise. And so I think for the most part, these assets are good enough to push the game forward that half turn or whatnot, or keep you alive that extra turn.
Oh yeah. I think all the assets that were just put into this are playable. they're gonna see play.
Yes.
But I don't think that they're required to win games or anything like that. So they aren't like. It's not like you put it in your deck and you have to see it in order to win because you can't base a deck off that.
You totally can.
Well,
you definitely can.
You can, but you're probably gonna lose most games. You might do okay, but you're never gonna win an event that way, where you have to see one piece every single game.
Go ahead.
So to put it in perspective, so far everyone I've talked to that is thinking about playing X is going to play 4 of her asset and mulligan for it, because that's how good that card is.
Totally. And I used to do that with Dr. Wily, and it's currently not good enough. I've played 4 Skull Fortress to the point of there's now Foundation under Death that has the ally keyword that says in hands discard a card, add 1 Foundation, or add 1 asset from your discard pile to your hand, and I still won't play Dr. Wily because that's still not good enough.
I mean, it's also a 1 diff versus a 2
A 2
diff.
diff. Oh.
Okay, so you can play more bad checks with this card. This card also does more for the deck it's being played in. The card says give a 3 damage and ready a Foundation, or give stun 2 twice.
This card says I'll never check bad ever again. That's what Skull Fortress 2 says. Sorry, we're not debating how baller Skull Fortress 2 is.
I'm just enjoying that I started this and I got the 2 people rooting against me to argue with each other.
Well, so let's. Full disclosure, Mason, I was on your side the whole time. I don't think that assets.
It was an inside job.
I don't think that assets are very good. I think these assets are going to see play, and I think you will not play 4 of all of these assets. Maybe people will play the.
I know an asset I will play a 4 of because these all exist.
What?
Homemade explosives, because I'm probably playing the fire symbol.
Because it's not unique, so who cares?
It's not unique, and it destroys assets and draws me cards and gives a bonus to minus,
You also
a
have
bonus to
Foundation.
plus, or a bonus or a penalty to damage.
Totally.
You also have a Foundation
Card's
that
nuts.
just like gets to remove it as a form.
Yep.
Remove it from the game, and you're like,
Mhm.
oh well. I think the best asset from this is Soul Edge, the Nightmare one.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
looking at it right now.
it
It's pretty
does
scary.
burn a lot if it gets out. So like that's just perfect for like the Chamberlain, but that deck's gonna win without it. Like that's just a win more. God, I want to talk about this later. But all assets just improve your chances of winning a little bit if you see them, but it's only a slight percentage that it'll improve it. Because yeah, people are gonna be running 4 of that asset in Zhanghua, but she has 19 life, and you don't get to block everything.
And that card doesn't even have a block.
Yeah.
Your card's a 1/5 no block.
So it's like
You're
dead
gonna get-
every
you're gonna
single
get-
time you see a second one.
Yeah.
And then like, so you're going to like draw into it turn 1, play it, draw 2 more of them. And you're like, I'm a 5-hander now that has 19 life. And I just lost the game because
Yeah, you
I
take that.
actually can't do anything about it.
You know who
That's why I say
think
it's not consistent and it can't be played at a Worlds or Nationals level. If that's what assets, a deck based around only seeing an asset and you can't play without it will never win a Nationals or Worlds event at this current moment.
Can we think back? What's the last winning asset?
Team Psycho Soldier probably, right?
I think it was Asset Athena when
Yeah.
Yeah.
they won. Like
And
that's
that deck
I was
It
gonna
just
say
Pulled My
Team
Trigger,
Kim.
right? Pulled My Trigger
I was gonna
the
say Team
last
Kim,
one.
but that was before Athena, the
Yeah.
So
Force or Athena.
Pulled My
deck.
Trigger was the last asset that was winning games, right?
I mean, Pull My Trigger totally wins games by itself. It probably still could win games all by itself.
+3 damage is good, but
+2 damage is fine.
Yeah, but
There's plenty of things to stop a kill turn that +3 damage and not being able to play Foundations is not good enough.
yeah, no, I understand that. But you don't use that card's effect unless you're winning the game that turn. And
Right.
you know you're winning the game that turn.
What I'm saying is there's
But it's
plenty
a-
of things that will say
Yeah.
that, hey, you didn't just win the game this turn and now you don't get the build after you blew up your staging area. Like that card has a much bigger drawback because of how
In the current
volatile.
yeah, you don't have like
the turns
Silent
are.
Assassin or something like that. Like you do
Yeah.
have a form of Silent Assassin on the Kuma Foundation, but
better
it's not
Silent
as
Assassin.
good. No, it's not as good.
It's not nearly as good.
Are these actions playable?
Are the actions playable?
Are these actions playable?
Because I guess we are
Yes.
talking about actions and assets, aren't
Correct.
we?
Yes.
I think the actions are playable. They're all do something relevant to their character.
They all,
None of them are as good as Revoke. Like Revoke is still the best action in the game. I think.
I agree.
Mhm.
I'd say Out of Your League got a little better because there are good responses on these actions.
Totally. I think
Good
Revoke, Out of Your
enhances.
League, Bang are the best actions in the game, and then these are coming up afterwards.
Yeah,
These
these
just-
kind of replace Punch and Judy. That's my thought.
Okay.
So like Punch and Judy was up there in best actions, and now like these almost seem a little better because they do more for the game rather than just being specific on one thing. But I mean, Punch and Judy are still gonna be around.
Oh yeah,
Nothing's gonna make that go away.
Yeah.
Especially with this unblockable action crap that's existing.
How exciting. Thoughts?
Nope.
Ooh, Travis, talk to me, baby. We're allowed to have opinions.
He's mad about the assets.
Oh, do you want to go back to assets?
No, it's fine. It's fine. You guys systematically destroyed my argument. You got me.
Is it because we all ganged up on you?
I mean,
I tried to sit on your side, but I just think you're wrong.
Do you know who I think got really good because of all the assets in this format?
Bishamon.
Bishamon. He's gonna be a monster.
James
All of them are weapon themed, and he's a weapon themed asset character.
Yeah.
That
He's
seems
gonna
really
get-
good.
Yeah, dude,
I-
Hanya seems hype now.
I
You got all
don't-
those weapon foundations
Holy
you gotta
shit.
block with and ready.
So,
it's gonna be fun.
So here's one thing. I don't know.
You gotta, take an attack
he
first.
also gets to play
This thing.
the Yoshimitsu asset that says whenever you play a weapon card, destroy one of their foundations.
Yup.
Yep.
You gotta check a 7 that card blows.
Okay.
But he can
And
commit
then-
his assets
and then
to
you
pass
get
the
to
7
commit
check.
your Hanya and
You
ready
gotta
it
your Hanya to
anyways.
pass it.
I think
And then
he
ready.
says to play cards, but maybe not.
Maybe not. I'm not sure.
You still gotta check a 7.
I
and that
think
blows.
I don't think Bishamon's
check.
gonna be the next world winning deck, but I think Bishamon might be really good now. Anyways, I think the action cards in this set are really cool, and I don't think any of them are necessarily going to be staples outside of the character's support that they're in. Like I don't think that anything's gonna be like I have to play this action card outside of the character that's playing it.
You can do it.
We can commit Hanya for the check of 7.
Red.
But
Actually, sorry to
No,
interrupt,
by all
but
means, interrupt me.
I think in Spike 2, you have to play Killick's action.
no, you don't. So I mean, Spike 2 still works the same way it used to.
I mean, yeah,
That
but
is never gonna go away.
the amount of explosive power that you get from playing
Oh.
Killick's action with Big
That card's
Cannon
pretty cool.
is
I
disgusting.
mean,
Here's my
I've been
problem.
talking about that since
Here's
release
my
of
problem.
that card.
Killick's action doesn't remove itself from the card pool. So if you use it and then you don't kill them with the next deck you play, your turn's pretty much over.
Yes.
I mean, the fact
Four
remains,
Devastator
though,
cannons can sometimes kill you.
Yes.
I mean, 4 Devastator Cannons does sometimes kill you. You're right.
Yeah, you
has
get to
life.
play Devastator Cannon twice.
I know, but usually you can just do that if you just draw 2 of them.
I mean, sure.
And-
I mean, it also says the next one
This card-
passes because it's on 5.
This card says you have 8 copies of Devastator Cannon in your deck. That's what it says.
If you have 2 at the same
If you
time.
have both,
yeah.
it mimics the card.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This card,
Doppelganger.
I think this card picking up the 5 diff is almost even better. But
Yeah.
Still really good.
Yeah, I think these actions are fine. I think these actions are playable. I think like when I look at an action, I look to Zhang Zhui's action. I think her action is exactly what an action should be. Exactly what an action should be.
she has a very balanced one.
It's like,
Yeah.
if you're going to kill me, I ready 5 cards in my staging area. I don't die from this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it has some other effect that does 3 damage attacks.
Your attack with a permanent damage of 3 gets +3 damage and gains stun 3
Yeah.
as a remove effect.
Yeah. And so it's like that's very, very good for exactly what it, and it's a 3 diff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I check a 3, I tap 1 for it. That sounds great. That sounds completely fair. It is good at it's good at the beginning of the game, it's good at the end of the game. Sounds rad. Sounds totally rad. That's exactly how I want an action to be. I know this card exists. I have to play around this card, but it is not so absolutely gangbusters that
Kian.
yes, it is not so absolutely gangbusters that it is just abysmal.
Yeah. Like Revoke is a necessary card in the game. I hate that Revoke is a required card to play as a 3 or a 4 of in every single deck that shares symbols.
Yes.
And I don't feel like these actions aren't that. That's not what these are.
No action should be on the same level as Revoke.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
And I
Correct.
believe that.
It's too strong.
I believe no action should be on the same level as Revoke or Bang.
I mean, Surprise Reunion is the actual balanced version of Revoke.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
And I even like almost to the point where like the 3 actions that I named, Revoke, Out of Your League, Bang. I feel like all 3 of those cards probably shouldn't exist. I think Out of Your League is the most fair because you pay 3 and it'll stick in the card pool.
I
if it
think
gets canceled.
out of Your League is absolutely a necessary card in this game. There has to be something that answers assets or actions.
it has to be answers or responses. That's what you mean.
I mean,
Out of Your
It
League
cancels responses.
Yeah, I know it cancels responses, but there are other cards that cancel other responses.
Yeah.
Very few cards cancel response on an action card.
Yeah. Out of Your League also cancels responses on characters, which is
yeah. Yeah, there are like 4 actions that you just kind of play when you're playing that symbol, which is like obviously Revoke, Out of Your League, Bang, and Prepare to Fight. Those are the cards you play.
Obviously, you don't need to play Prepare to Fight.
card sucks. I was playing against Dylan with my Fey deck, and I was playing. I kept an Out of Your League in my hand the entire game, just because like he's playing evil, he has Revoke, and then I just played out my whole turn. He doesn't own Revokes, and so I was playing around this card for absolutely no reason. But I was so petrified of Revoke that I had to play completely differently. Yeah. And we played 3 games. I didn't see him check a single one, and I was just like, it doesn't matter. He could be playing one of it, and I just haven't seen it. I have to keep this card. If that doesn't tell you how banana sandwich Revoke is, I don't know what does. Mm-hmm. And none of these cards are that good. So I'm down. I'm super down. Mm-hmm. Final thoughts on the topic? Actions, assets, being playable?
Yeah.
I like it.
I believe the entire table agrees that these actions are good and the assets below, and you should never play any of them. Right, Travis?
Yep, for sure.
That's not what I said. But
that's
okay.
not at all what I said as well.
They're the worst cards that have ever been printed in Jasko's era.
I said don't base a deck off of them.
If
That's
you
all I said.
take and you find any of these cards, you should
What
throw
if
them
we
in a fire.
base a deck off of all of them?
Are we what? Hold on.
Tri-symbol Bishamon.
Tri-symbol Bishamon. Let's go.
I'm down. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the 4th topic of the week.